recording? Oh, there you go. Hi, it's Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. Let me get my glasses out of the way because I can't see into the camera with them on. So today's video, I'm going to do a few things that, the 10 yarny things you didn't know about me, because I think those videos are fun to watch, and so I'm hoping that maybe some of you will like to watch that, watch this video for me. So, and I'm crocheting while I do this. For the bingo, you have to do something out of scrap yarn. You had to make a popsicle. Well, this is kind of off on a tangent, but you had to make, for one of the squares of yarn bingo, you had to make a popsicle holder. Well, this is my popsicle holder. For those popsicles in the, like, frozen in the plastic. So I made one for my one granddaughter, and then you needed to make something patriotic. So I made one then in this patriotic yarn. Then you need to make something out of scrap yarn, and I'm running out of time. So how much more scrap can you get if I make one more to finish out of the 2 scraps of yarn that I had from before? So I don't know if that's cheating. I hope that's not cheating. It is scrap yarn. It is something that I'm going to make. I'm going to do it right here while we chat. And then I can cross another square off and use up this scrap yarn, because what else? This is the end of it. What else would I do? What else would I do with these little pieces of scrap yarn? So then there's good news. I got in the mail today this. This is Happy Mail that you wouldn't even consider Happy Mail. I did buy it for myself, but I'm hoping and I'm thinking that this might be the thing. It is really and truly, I guess, supposed to be a selfie stick. And it comes in a little pouch. And with any amount of luck, I'm going to open it. I'm going to crinkle it because crinkle means new, and I'm liking crinkle. I'm hoping that this, it has a remote control, and you open it up and it telescopes. Maybe you got to loosen this somehow. Let's try this. Loosen this little gadget here like that. Well, that isn't working. Well, I really don't want to have to read the directions, because I don't want to do that right now. I thought it... Uh-oh. Shoot, now I'm losing pieces. Well, this goes over here. Let me put this back, because apparently I loosened that too much. It should go this way, and it's supposed to... It's a selfie stick. It's supposed to expand. Well, darn. It's supposed to go out 7. And then you can put it on the tripod, and it has a remote control, and you bend this down and turn it, supposedly. And then I could take videos and make a tutorial, because this would let me show my hands. And then my granddaughter, my little tiny granddaughter, would be very happy that Grammy crocheted on YouTube. And this holds the phone. There really aren't much as way as directions go, but I saw a video on YouTube through Amazon, and it's supposed to expand out. I'm not kidding you. Look, see, even in the box it tells you it goes up that tall. And then it's supposed to, well, anyway. So, later, I will try to figure it out, read the directions, and see what I'm doing wrong, so that I can crochet online for my granddaughter. That will be the next video to come out. So we're just throw this back in the bag so I don't lose. There's pieces in there. charger stuff for the remote control. So if this works, really good find for like $16.99 on Amazon. So anyway, if it doesn't work, it might be a little bit of an expensive selfie stick that probably my daughter-in-law would love. Or maybe my older granddaughter, I don't know. So, all right, enough ado about that. Cross your fingers for me on it, though. So, we all know, I guess I should have started this with, thanks for watching. This is Lynette with Charmed Grammy Crochet. And now that I'm halfway through the video, I guess I should say that. I appreciate it if you would subscribe and like and share to grow my channel. That would be very helpful to me. If not, that's fine too. So let's see. Let's tell you what you don't know. I have been married to the same wonderful husband for 32 years. We were married on Friday the 13th of February. Because we wanted to get married on Valentine's Day, which obviously was then going to be a Saturday. And we were getting married by the Justice of the Peace. Well, actually, the mayor of the city in which he grew up. And they weren't doing weddings on the Saturday. So we said, well, what the heck, we'll just get married on Friday. We made all the arrangements to get married on Friday. People took off work, like our parents. You know, it was just a small ceremony. It was not my first wedding. And my husband was not real, he didn't want anything big. He's a little shy. Do you see that flashing? I don't know why we're flashing. I don't know if that's recording or if it's just in my phone, but it keeps flashing. Anyway, so, he didn't want a big wedding. He doesn't like crowds. He doesn't like to be in front of a lot of people. So, you know, just something small in front of the mayor. And so we planned Friday the 13th without realizing that it was Friday the 13th. It was just Friday. And so, you know, the day before. So we got married on Friday the 13th. It's been 32 years, so apparently it wasn't too unlucky. So that's the first thing. We have 3 kids that are all grown up and 4 grandchildren, all girls. And it is because of the grandchildren that I am called Charmed Grammy. When I had 3 grandchildren, not 4, my daughter and daughter-in-law decided that I needed to be on Instagram. And you have to come up with an Instagram name. I don't know why you don't use regular names on Instagram like you do on Facebook. But they decided we needed to come up with a name. And so my first and eldest granddaughter's name is Chloe, C-H. The next one is Madison. We call her Maddie, M-D. And the, at the time, youngest one was Ariana, Ari, A-R. So we got C-H-A-R-M-D. That's why there's no E in Charmed. And I'm the Grammy. So on Instagram, I was Charmed Grammy. So then when, and I've been on Instagram, well, my youngest granddaughter is, my youngest granddaughter is, she just turned 5. She wasn't born yet. So I've been on Instagram a really long time, and I really and truly have not been on Instagram until 3 months ago, or 2 months ago, when I started putting stuff with, you know, when I started my channel. Instagram wasn't, I still don't really know how to use it. I can put pictures up there. I don't know how to really do, and I don't know how to reply to people. I don't know how to find out if people replied to me. I keep having to sit down with my family, and they have to teach me really how to really work it. I really don't know. Other than I scroll through and I see people's stuff and I'm like, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. But that's my extent of knowing really how to use Instagram, but that's what started my Charmed Grammy. So because of the grandchildren, I am Charmed Grammy. And the fourth one, her name is Avery. And like I said, she just turned 5 a month or so ago. And she still starts with A, so she works. Then when I started YouTube and I had to come up with I wanted to come up with a name, because I was on YouTube for a while, but just as Lynette Squires, because that's my name. I switched it over to Charmed Grammy, and I decided to put the E in to make it easier. I should have probably maybe kept it all the same, Charmed Grammy with no E on everything, but because now I get confused. There my phone goes again. Well, if you guys see flashes, I don't know what it's from. I don't know why that's happening. I hope you don't see it when you get through this. So, next, very good. I have a dog. Her name is Lacey. She's very adorable. She's 13. She just turned 13 2 days ago. I'm not really sure if that's her actual birthday, but that's the birthday I gave her, was June 8th, which was my grandmother's birthday. Because I know she was born in June, but I really don't know what day. I got her from a rescue, and she's, like I said, she's 13, and all she does is sleep all day long, and want to be petted once in a while, but not enough that she'll get up off the couch. And she's hurt herself in the past winter, and she doesn't walk very good. I mean, she walks, but she can't climb. She hurt her back legs, like her thigh, hip. She can't go up and down the stairs, or up and off the couch. I had to get her stairs for the couch. She can go up and down on the stairs, but that's it, not by herself. So she's, I don't know how much longer she's going to hang around, I think. She just keeps getting, like, less and less energy as she gets older. But she's not a really big dog. And usually little dogs, I mean, she weighs like 25 pounds. Usually little dogs live longer, but I think she's relatively happy. She's just tired. I get it. I'm old. I'm tired too. Not that old. I'm 56, but that's old enough. I get tired. Let's see. I do have one tattoo. You'll never guess it's of elephants, yeah, because we all know that I like elephants. And my tattoo goes around my ankle, and I have 4 elephants around my ankle. Each one has an initial in the middle for one of my grandkids, and it has their birthstone. It's outlined black, and then an outline of the outline in the birthstone color of that child. 4 fit perfectly around, so if I have any more grandchildren, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to do something else. Let's see. My husband and I like to travel. We generally go on 3 or 4 vacations a year. Some of them, we belong to like a vacation club kind of thing. It's kind of a timeshare-ish, but it's not a timeshare. So we can go places relatively inexpensive. For a week, we stay in a nice condo. 1 vacation a year tends to be with all of the family. My kids, grandkids, whoever wants to go. We'll get a couple of condos. And then usually the others are just him and I, or if somebody, family members can go, they'll come with. My brothers come a couple times. So we don't mind having traveling companions. My son and his wife got to come with us to Myrtle Beach this past fall or spring, early spring, without the kids. So that was really nice. We like having traveling companions, just that we have more available time off than most of the people that we know. So we tend to travel only in the States, and we always drive. We like to be able to stop and see things along the way. So the furthest we've driven, we live in Ohio, we've driven to Maine, which was quite a hike, actually. But I don't think that was our furthest drive. I think Maine took us about 15 hours. And we did do that with my daughter and granddaughter. And that was a wonderful trip. Then we traveled, just my husband and I, to Texas, to San Padre Island, which was close to over 20, maybe 24-hour trip, drive time. And that, I really loved it there. I love being on the beach, on the ocean. And on San Padre Island, you got ocean and golf, or I guess that's a golf. That was very nice. So we've been there, been to Florida. We haven't gone any place further than Texas. Neither one of us have passports. We keep saying we're going to get them, and we just never do. We just haven't taken the time to get it. So we don't leave the country because we can't. One day I'll actually sit down and order us passports. Let's see. We have a camper. We camp just about every weekend. At least one night, we go out to our camper. It's parked permanently. We don't pull it. And we just moved to a new campground this year. We're really enjoying the new campground. We've had our camper, this is our 5th summer. So having moved it and putting it into a new home, it has been a lot of setup work. We're really not done. But we're liking where we're at. So getting it all decked out, if that's what we decide what we want to do. We might not get it all decked out. And a family comes, usually every weekend. Somebody comes, or several people come, and we have family weekends at the campgrounds. So we do that on the weekends. Let's see, what else do I have on here? I do work. I only work part-time, and I get to play cards for a living. I don't know how much I'm allowed to disclose about my job. They have things about that. So I can't really say where I work, but you can maybe figure some of that out on your own. Let's see. When we travel, my husband likes to watch birds, the big birds, birds of prey. So when we travel, if there's not really like a site, let's go see this or go do that, then we'll travel and go towards where there might be birds of prey that my husband can watch. So when we went to New York when did we go to New York? Right before I started doing my YouTube channel, and then one of my first YouTube videos was the yarn haul I got from Lion Brand Yarns. That's when we went to New York. We happened to be driving from the resort we were staying at in the Catskill Mountains, and we were going to New Jersey to the Lion Brand outlet store. I'm like, if we're going to be 2 hours away, which was about 2 hours away actually, I want to go to the Lion Brand outlet store. So we did. And on the way, we found an eagle's nest, and my husband was in his glory. So we do a lot of birding, or traveling where we can do some birding at the same time. I'm not into the birds, but I love watching him be involved with the birds. Not that I don't enjoy seeing the hawks and the eagles and even the buzzards and learning about them, because I'm learning along with him all about those things. But he does them, and so that gives us a goal. So we were really excited to see the eagle's nest this past February, maybe we went. March, April, maybe it was April, I don't know. It had baby birds in it, but you couldn't really see them so well. So that was very exciting. We traveled looking for, they have what they call a hawk's watch. When the hawks migrate, they count them. And it's all the birds of prey. So some people are paid, some people volunteer, and there's specific places in the traffic patterns of where the birds fly for their migrations. So there's specific places that people that watch them count them. And so they sit in these lounge chairs and watch the sky, and hours on end, and they have clickers, and they count how many birds and what type of birds they're seeing. So we've traveled to follow some of that a couple of times. So last September, we went on there was supposed to be, it's migration time, spring and fall. So there was a migration, and we went north. So we went into, um, we were we were going to Pennsylvania. We went to Gettysburg. We went just some historical sites. I love history. Not that I study it, but I just love to see the things and the way people used to live and things that they used to do to survive. Um, I love antiques, like antique furniture and like just I find it so fascinating that like some of the inventions that people made that you would like, gosh, how come we don't even use that anymore? Because some of these things are really cool. Things that, well, anyway, if you like history, I said that I like history. I just like the learning how people lived. I don't care about the wars and the whys of all of that. Just how they lived forming this country. I find that so fascinating. Even, other countries, whenever you can, like ancient Egypt, like how those people lived, I find that all very interesting. So we hawk watched for my husband, and we toured some historical sites. He likes that too, don't get me wrong. Like, he likes the cannons. I like to see the kitchens. How did they cook? How did they, plantation houses. I love to see that. They're not like Gone with the Wind style, the ones that I've seen. Like this big, huge plantation house. When you really go to a plantation house, they're not always these really big, huge plantation houses. Sometimes they are, but I've seen several that are not. But they're very interesting. We've seen George Washington's house. Very cool. A whole nother. That's going off on tangents. Anyway, when we went to New York this past, Pennsylvania, and then we went into New York to Long Island, and we went on a whale watching cruise. And I'm going to tell you what, if you ever have the ability to do that, so very cool. It was like $50 a person, 4-hour cruise off of Long Island, and we actually saw humpback whales, and they were close, like 10 feet off the boat. My husband has some really great videos. I was taking still pictures, and he was taking videos on his phone. Maybe I'll see if I can put some pictures in at the end of this video. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I'm talented enough for that, but I will give it a shot. I will see if I can get some cool eagle pictures from when we were in New York, and maybe see if I can somehow attach that video my husband took of the whale coming up, mouth open, huge creatures, and so silent you don't even know they're there. It was very cool. If you ever, like I said, have an opportunity to see that, see that. And the last thing that I have on my list is, before I started crocheting, which has only been a very short period of time, my mom passed away in October of 2016. And then I think it was the following fall that she was gone. She was past a year at least before I ever found her crochet stash, her yarn stash. And I like made a doll blanket for the Barbie house and a scarf that I donated to the homeless, and then I didn't touch it again for several more months. And so then now we're back. That's when then in the spring after that. So that's when I really started crocheting and like looking at YouTube and learning stitches and making things. So prior to that, I used to, and I still do love stained glass, and I make stained glass items. I've made the windows. I have 3 windows in my dining room. Only one of them has stained glass window in it. I wanted to make a window for all 3, but the window I put in there is clear glass, and it really takes the natural sunlight away, and so I didn't make the other two. But I did make the window. I've made the lampshade in this room. Actually, it started with the shutters in my bathroom. My house is 100 years old, a little more than 100 years old. The bathroom has a window in it, and it does not have bathroom glass in it. And they had shutters. There were always shutters in there. When we bought the house, there were shutters in there, and they had that really ugly plastic glass with the circles from like the 60s in the gold color. So I immediately took those out, and I put fabric, little stretched curtains in the shutters so that you could take a bath and not be seen by the neighbors, because the window is right between the bathtub and the toilet. So if you're a man, you might be seen if you're tall enough. And if you're in and out of the bathtub, people could see you from their bathrooms or back, whatever rooms are at that part of the house. So, excuse me. So eventually I'm like, I want to do something else, and I decided that I wanted to put stained glass panels in there. And the panels are 7 inches wide and 21 inches long, and there's 3 panels. And I priced it out, and they wanted $600 to make panels for that. I'm like, ooh, I can't do that. So I took a class for $90, and I learned how to make the panels, and then I learned to make other stained glass items. And I really enjoy it, but I tend to always cut myself. I don't mind cutting myself, but I cannot work with Band-Aids on my hands. So I don't get to make stuff very often. I have a hard time working with the glass if I'm wearing any type of glove to protect my fingers from getting cut. As I said, I play cards for a living, and getting blood on the cards is not a good idea, and they're hard to handle if you have Band-Aids on your fingers. So I don't get to work with my glass very often anymore, but that was my creative outlet until my main creative outlet anyway, until learning to crochet. So maybe I'll get a couple of pictures of some of my stained glass and put them at the end of this video as well. So that's all I have. This one turned out to be a little bit longer than I anticipated, and if I add video to it or pictures at the end, I don't know if I can add pictures and video or both, but we'll figure it out. If not, I'll add them into another video later, or just show you. Hold on, let me see if I can show you my window. Let me see if I can pause this. Okay, I'm going to show you the lampshade that I made. With the light on, it's hard to see that it's made out of like purples and blues and pinks. It's like a Tiffany style lampshade, but easy. Hold on. Okay, now the window is propped up because it is so heavy that it won't stay up by itself anymore. So don't mind the prop. But it really does take away the, even though it's all clear glass, minus the mirrors. These are mirrors, and that is my own design. So that's the window, but it really does take away from the light. So only one last thing I made. Oh, look, let's get the plant out of the way. I made this, and it was a. Oh, can we get it in the picture? It's not together very well. There we go. It's just a wall hanging. It's got mirror glass behind the stained glass. There's a mirror behind it, and you put a light on it, and it should shine. Oh goodness, now you're. Hold on. Okay, back to the yarn room. Anyway, that's just a few of the things that I've made. But that little yellow thing was a design I created, and I gave that one to my mom, but that was the sample that I made, big ones, all clear glass, with mirrors behind them to be wall art for each of my 3 kids. and they have them hanging in their homes, and they were big. The one for my mom was just a practice to see how well I could do that. My kids, theirs are all probably they're big picture size. At least 2 by 3 feet. And I don't know if I have pictures of those somewhere, but that would be hard to find. So anyway, that's a little bit more about me that's not yarny. And I am going to work on fixing my selfie stick thing. I'm a bobber. And being able to, here it is, and being able to do that reader tutorial. See if I can do a reader tutorial. That would be kind of fun. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time. Bye.